Sit Show. I'm your host, Topher Kurt, along with my co-host, Jamie Perog. Jamie, go ahead and hit it. Good morning and welcome to our final show of the season, which is kind of crazy. We should not be here. I don't like that we're here. It did. You get to like week 8 or 9 and you're like, okay, like, yes, we feel like probably hit the halfway point of the season. And then you hit like 13 and you're like, nope, it's too fast. And now we're here. And I am recovering from the wonderful flu that is going around.
Yeah, same. Everybody's been sick.
Yeah. So if I sound sick or stuff, I'm sick because of that and because of the Packers back-to-back losses. But it is what it is. They've lost to two good teams. So, yeah.
Yep, they also lost to the Browns earlier in the season.
Yeah, I didn't say that all their losses were against good teams. Okay, ask us your questions. Ask us your start sit questions for your fantasy championship or your toilet bowl, whatever you've got going on. Make sure you ask us those questions. Do you have anything right now?
Well, before we get started, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the loss of Randall Memphis Young of the Dynasty Warzone. Good friend. He always supported me. He always shouted out my podcast on his episodes. He came on an episode with me and Kyle once, and he ended up passing away yesterday morning.
Oh.
So keep him in your prayers. And like that dude, he was awesome, man. He was just such an all-around good person, just trying to bring the community together. So my heart goes out to him and his family.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Yeah. So sending you and everyone affected by that love and light. Absolutely.
So we do got a first question.
We do. Jared, here we go. Need 2 PPR, Tetaroa, Michael Wilson, Wandale Robinson, Jalen Waddle, Luther Burden.
Ooh, I think Waddle's definitely got to be in there, right? Like I have him close to top 12, like right outside. And I think Tet would be my other option.
Let's see.
Wandale. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. I got Michael Wilson just a couple behind Wandale at 15.
So let's see.
I know Tet's dealing with some kind of a sickness, but I'm pretty sure he's going to play.
Yeah. Tet should be playing, but they do play Seattle. And Seattle is not as bad as they give up the 11th fewest fantasy points. Okay. So they were much better throughout the season, and then Nakua dropped 225 and 2 touchdowns against them last week. Otherwise, they hadn't given up a 75-yard or more game since week 6. So, this one's tough. I don't think that I could trust Wandale. No, he's so hit or miss. He will get you receptions, he'll get you targets and receptions, but his yardage total normally sits around 50. I like Waddle this week. Tetaroa, maybe. Michael Wilson, I don't like because they threw in Marvin Harrison. Since Harrison's playing, I don't like it as much. And then Burden playing against San Fran. He could do really well.
Yeah, he does seem to be the number one option when Odunze's out.
Yes. Let's see. San Fran is right in the middle for fantasy points given up to the wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think I go Tet and Waddle. I go Waddle as 1, Tet as 2, Burden as 3.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Wilson and Wandale. Waddle's not too far behind, so...
You're going to go Wandale Robinson?
Yeah, I got to trust my rankings. Wow. Everything against Vegas, I got him at 13th wide receiver.
Dang.
Wilson 15, then who else? Waddle is 21 for me.
Okay. Well, we cleared up about nothing for you, Jared.
Sorry about that.
Thank you for asking, though. Okay. Ryan, thanks for being here every week. In the final round of Guillotine, got to pick 2, Brown, Jamar Chase, Achane, or Bijan. Wow.
Well, I'm glad you survived last week because I remember answering this question last week.
Yes. And we did say don't play Chase Brown, and then he went off. So yeah. I'm glad that whatever you did worked in your favor. Ooh.
So he's just got to pick 2. I'm going to go Jamar Chase, and it's close, but I think I got to go Bijan.
Against the Rams?
Yeah, I just think he's going to get volume, high-scoring game. They're going to need to use their weapon. So I do have Bijan and Achane back-to-back. So
the Rams have they've given up 5 rushing touchdowns the entire season and 2 receiving touchdowns to the running back all season. So that would worry me. And okay, so here's something that could play in favor is that 3 of those touchdowns have come in the past 2 weeks. Kenneth Walker has 2 of the 5 rushing touchdowns against them, which is crazy. They've only given up 2 100-yard rushers all year, and that was Derrick Henry and Kenneth Walker last week. They have given up some good stuff on the ground, though. In the air, 82, 66, 44, 41, 64. Wow. Okay, keep this in future note. Kenneth Walker this year stomped the Rams. Anytime Kenneth Walker played the Rams, he just curb stomped them to oblivion. And then Bijan would probably be my favorite out of them. But let's see. I do want to look at how Tampa Bay has fared against the run game because I don't think they fared nearly as well. They've given up the 13th most fantasy points to the running back position. I mean, you're looking at it. It's nothing that you're like, oh, okay, Achane's a given to go off. But, I mean, Achane is quite literally a given to go off in some way, shape, or form. But I think Bijan is always going to have the higher ceiling. I think when you're in a guillotine league, you got to go that. So, and luckily he threw in Henry at the last minute. That was incredibly smart of you. Good work. He was unstoppable last night. It was fun to watch him, not watching him against the Packers, but it's fun to watch him do as well as he did. Thank you, Ryan, for asking questions every single week. We appreciate it. Jared, Sampson or Carter?
That's ugly.
As we all would be figured we would be asking in our in our fantasy championship week. Michael Carter or Dylan Sampson? I love this for you in the most heart-wrenching way possible.
Oh man, both bad options, man. Let's see, I got Carter 28, Sampson 27.
Okay, so here's the deal. Besides last week, where they just stuffed Bijan Robinson into the ground and David Montgomery. Before that, the Steelers had been giving up since week 10, 95, and then 99, and then they stopped Monangai for 48 yards. But then they had 114 plus 62, 206, and then 160, and then 60, but 67 in the air. Like, they haven't stopped running backs besides Gibbs as of late. They really haven't. And Kyle Monangai is on waivers. I
would do that.
I almost say, yeah, go to Monangai.
I mean, Monangai, I have in my top 20, and the other guys are closer to 30.
Yeah, I know Michael Carter's playing Cincinnati, but he has 3 games above 50 rushing yards this season. And yes, he can be explosive in the passing game, but he's not always.
I mean, he only has 2 or 3 targets the past few weeks. So
yeah. And I think Kyle Monangai has had 50 yards rushing in the past 3 out of 4 weeks alone. And he's going to continue to get options and touches.
I know Sampson got some targets last week, but I just can't trust the Browns and what they're going to do.
That's not fair of you. I mean, Sampson did get 64 yards last week in receiving. He had 6 targets, 5 receptions. So, I mean, I still lean Monangai, but I still, if you're going to play one of the two, you have Sampson. I don't think it's a question. Sampson has the bigger playability, the bigger upside. We've seen it. Michael Carter is a journeyman.
Yeah, I agree. I like Sampson's talent. So if I had to pick those, I guess I would go Sampson.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you, Jared, for asking questions. I know we've seen you here before, and we appreciate you coming and listening and asking us questions and doing all of that fun stuff.
Let's see. We got Olave's playing. That's good news.
Yeah, there was where was it? Just saw it.
Marvin Harrison is active.
Yup. Let's see. Tetaroa is up. Fannin is up. Tyrod Taylor is inactive. Pop Douglas is up. Sauce Gardner and Marvin Harrison.
Yep. And Tua's out. And there we go. Sampson is healthy. Jamari Thrash is out. Get him out of your lineups.
Jamari Thrash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. I mean, He's probably in all of yours, let's be real. Hey, drop the mic.
Happy holidays, Mike. I know Mike's got some tough questions probably.
So, I'm normally pretty good at this start-sit game. This week has been awful for me in my repeat run to the title. I'll have to tell you after we answer Ryan's question, Parker Washington or Marvin Harrison toilet bowl final?
Is this for the 101 pick or
for pride? Or to avoid a last place punishment.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Marv versus Cincy.
You're going Marvin?
Marvin versus Cincy, yeah.
Yeah, against Cincy.
I mean, I know Parker Washington. That's probably going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I get the tempt to want to start Parker Washington, but I'm looking right here over his games, and just like most receivers, but especially on a receiver that you don't know what he's going to be doing, if he's not getting a touchdown, he's had one game above wide receiver 30 without a touchdown. And I don't want to trust that. Yeah. I'm not trusting that. I'd go Marvin. Absolutely. I gave up in one league, went against Bill, Henry, and Minnesota defense. Hey, when Alvin Kamara had a 6 touchdown game on Christmas that one year, I had him and I lost my fantasy football championship. Anything's possible. Drop the mic, let me tell you. And speaking of anything's possible, I didn't know if Jordan Love and or Malik Willis would start this week. And I have both of them. So I figured starting Jared Goff would be safe, right? Has his worst outing by far this week. Josh Jacobs is one of my running backs, has 0.8 points. Jared Goff has 4.08. George Pickens, okay day, 9.8. On my bench, Malik Willis for 35.5. Jalen Noel for 18.9. And Christian Watson for 20.8. Now, if you don't know, let me ask you this. If you don't know what Love and or Willis is going to do until game time and you're still concerned, are you starting Christian Watson or Alec Pierce? Before knowing today's game.
I think I would still go Christian Watson over Pierce.
Yeah. And Christian Watson also was injured before, so we didn't know if he was going to play. So I really thought about it. But otherwise, do you start Watson over any of these people? Achane? Nakua?
Nope.
Travion Henderson?
Nope.
Bucky Irving?
Nope.
George Pickens?
Nope.
No. So it came down to Alec Pierce and Christian Watson. And so right now I literally have a 31-point deficit just from my quarterback position. And my opponent had Jake Ferguson. So he scored his touchdown and then was out. But my opponent is also starting Trey Tucker. So this could work out maybe in my favor. He sat Trey Tucker. He started Trey Tucker over Quentin Johnston and Jaden Higgins. So we both have had a couple blunders. But he does have CMC, Josh Allen, and Matthew Stafford. So I feel like I'm toast. But Ooh, okay. Here's my. Ooh, there we go. Great. May or Trevor Lawrence?
Man, this is tough. They could both end up in the top 5. I have them both like right outside at 6 and 7. 6, 7. I think I
I'm
would just
gonna
go
hit you
May.
with my car. I tell that to my students all the time.
But no, I'm gonna go May. I love May. May's my ride or die guy.
Yeah, I have May at 4, Lawrence at 6. I mean, you also May has been Lawrence has been a top 5 QB the past 3 out of 4 weeks. He's been top 7 past 4 out of 5 weeks. He's been the Trevor Lawrence that we have all dreamed of. Now, something that I did notice with Drake May, because I had him in a different league, and I noticed this. He started off as a mid-low QB1, and he's steadily gone to QB 10, 11, 12 every week. They do, however, this week, play the Jets, which can be very high in his favor. Last time he played the Jets, he had 281 yards and a touchdown, no interception, and only ran the ball for 2 yards, his literal lowest on the season. I see that rushing total going up just because of how he's been rushing ever since then, and even before that. And with Henderson and Stevenson both healthy, they could stick to the ground more. Try and keep him healthy for a playoff run. Because it would suck to overuse Drake May right now and then get him injured against the Jets. And I think both teams are still fighting for that number 1 seed. They're still both fighting for that and for their divisions. So they both have to play hard. I honestly kind of go Trevor Lawrence here.
Oof. Yeah, I'm not going away from May.
I just think they know that they're going to win. I mean, it would be very embarrassing if they lost. And so that's my thought. I think that they will. I think that Jags will pass more.
Yeah, so I had a question, either Trevor Lawrence or Brissett. I thought that was closer than Drake
Lawrence.
Lawrence. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I am going Lawrence in that situation, but if I had Drake May, I would go May.
So I'm looking right here at Brissett versus Lawrence. Brissett has been a top 5 QB once. He's been a very steady top 12 QB, like impressively. Last week was his only week outside of the top 10 QB spots since he started. Top 12, I mean. He's been a QB1 every week besides last week. And last week was a dud. But I still go Trevor Lawrence on that. Patriots or Seahawks defense in standard, set Texans defense. Since Kittle is probably also out in standard, who would you play? So let's start with Patriots or Seattle defense. I think this is easy. The Patriots, they're playing the Jets. It's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I don't do defenses, so I'm looking. And who's the options? Patriots or what?
Seahawks.
All right, they have them back to back at 5 and 6. Patriots ahead. So yeah.
Yeah, I go Patriots there. If Kittle is out, he wants to play today. Who do you play, Fannin or Strange? Fannin, easily.
Oh,
Fannin is becoming the next wave of tight end. He's going to be soon joining the Trey McBride and the Brock Bowers and the Sam Laporta. Well, I think he's even might outproduce Sam Laporta when he's healthy. He'll join that Tucker Kraft sort of tier. So I think Harold Fannin next year will be a top 5 tight end.
Yeah, not only his talent, but he's just getting targeted like a monster.
Yeah, especially if they stick with Shador. That's Shador's number one target, and everyone knows it, and they can't stop him. They can't stop that. So let's see. Ray, keeping the questions going. Love it. Okay, Sutton and Jefferson only got 77 points combined. Yep, I get that. Has 41 from Gibbs, Pickens, Terry, Bronco, Steen, Aubrey. Yeah. I mean, you never know. Last week, to get into the fantasy football championship game, I had Puka Nacua go off, and he literally leaped, helped me get in there, and my opponent started the wrong quarterback. Sometimes those things can help. So, yeah, I think you've got a good team right there, Ray Gamer. You never know. I've seen star-studded teams that flub, and I've seen teams that have names like Michael Carter and Dylan Sampson and Michael Wilson all of a sudden come out and win the fantasy football championship. So good luck to you, Ray Gamer. I hope that all those players do well except for CMC and Kyron because I'm playing them. But I hope the rest of them do really well for you. Jalen Coker, Blake Corum, or Stevenson? I think for me, this is easy. This is Blake Corum. I don't know how Blake Corum has been a top 20 running back the past 4 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it's tougher for me between Stevenson and Corum. Shit. I mean, like you said, if they're going to run the ball a lot to save Drake May, that's going to get Stevenson some more carries.
Stevenson has only been a top 30 running back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times this season. Corum has done it the last 4 weeks in a row. He's proven to be an asset in that offense in a way that isn't detrimental to Kyron Williams. I think that this is a no-brainer.
I don't mind going Corum over Stevenson. Man, we always say volume is king, right? And Stevenson does get more volume, like 50%. Corum gets what, like 30?
But if you look at their rush attempts, Stevenson has 6, 12, 6, 8, and then 2, 3, 3, 3 in targets over the past 4 weeks. And then Corum has had 7, 12, 11, 14, and then 1 and 2 targets. So Stevenson is going to get some more yardage production, but Blake Corum is out touching him every single week besides one. And it's by a few times. It's not just like 1 or 2. Like last week, he had 15 touches to Stevenson's 9. And they want to play him. They're showing that more and more. And they're going to get him a touchdown. He's gotten 5 touchdowns the last 4 weeks. They're not going to stop doing that. Him and Kyron Williams are 2 of the most surefire people to get touchdowns in the league right now. Like they just take him down to the goal line, and especially with Devontae Adams being out, that just means that those goal lines shares are just going up the running back. So I'm going Corum easily.
Yeah, I mean it's close, so I guess I would go Corum.
Yeah, drop my mic. You have to go with me. Pretty privilege. You got to go with me. I'm prettier. Thank you. Hey, J Label, Higgins or Diggs?
Man, we crapped the bed last week on Diggs.
Nobody
thought he was going to do that.
No, not at all.
Let's see.
I still think you go T. Higgins. T. Higgins playing at. Let's see. He has 1, 2, 3. well, let me make this easier on us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 touchdowns since week 5. Since week 5, and he hasn't played 2 of those games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's had 10 touchdowns in 9 weeks. I think you start there. Also, he's had at least in every single since week 5, he's had at least 50 yards in all those games besides 2. Stefon Diggs, since week 5, has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games below 50 yards. He's only had 3 touchdowns on the season. He hasn't scored since week 10. He is all over the place. He's very inconsistent. Yes, he had a monster week last week, which makes you go, oh, he could do it again against the Jets. He absolutely could. But T. Higgins is going to get you points. T. Higgins, since week 5, his lowest, he had 5.6 points in half-point PPR against New England as wide receiver 42. Otherwise, he's been wide receiver 32 since week 5 or better.
Yeah, so I'm looking at my rankings. I'm higher on Higgins than the consensus, and I'm lower on Diggs. So I got Higgins at 7. I'm looking at the consensus. They have him between 13 to 15-ish. Diggs, and they consensus has him at like between 14 to 20. I got him down at like 28. I'm not chasing the points last week.
No. Yeah, I've got T. Higgins at 13 and Stefon Diggs at 33.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, so definitely Higgins.
Yeah, so that's definitely Higgins right there. Okay. Boom.
I don't think I got any. I was going between Waller. Oh, wait, let's go to this one first.
Yep. Okay, let's see. I got 3 spots to play, but do I really want to play all Jags? I have BTJ, Sterling to Washington. My other options are Samson, Darnell Washington, Alec Iomanor. I had at the beginning of the season, I made a bold prediction for every team, and my bold prediction was that Alec Iomanor would be a playoff winner for people. Obviously, that did not come true. I mean, this is not your Jags of old. This is not where you go, oh crap. These are the Jags that I have to play. I think you're starting everybody correctly.
Yeah, I second that. I mean, like we said it earlier, it's going to be a high-scoring game.
It has to be. Yeah, and
I'm definitely not going to play Darnell Washington or A.L. Manor. If anything, I would switch Sampson with somebody, but
I don't know who I'd switch him with.
I don't know. It would have to be Washington, but I still don't want to do that.
Correct. I don't either. I'm with you. So yeah, I think you start those Jags. Absolutely. Okay, so I did have a question for you. Here we go. Will the Eagles beat the Bills today? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Nope. Good question. I just don't think they will. So here are my tight ends. Half-point PPR, Jawan Johnson, Hunter Henry, AJ Barner.
Oh man. Hunter Henry, I guess.
Yeah.
Or no, you know what? Go Juwan.
Go Jawan.
Yeah. Why not? Because I got him and Tyson Hill like right back to back. I mean, Tyson Hill, he could throw a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
and run a touchdown. So that's why I have him high, but I don't think it's going to affect Juwan Johnson as much. So, yeah, I got Juwan at 10, 4 tight ends.
Yeah, here's one thing that I do want to bring up. That Booty and Matt Collins are both sidelined.
So it does help Hunter Henry, but
it does.
Still, I had Henry at 17, so I would probably move him up to what, 14, 15 now.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
What's my iPad?
Upstairs.
So.
It's plugged up.
Okay. Hi, buddy. How's it going? You having a good day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Can you say go Packers?
Can you say it?
Go Packers.
Yes. There we go.
All right. Sorry about that. So where were we at?
You had a question.
Did I?
You before?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I find it. It's a full point tight end premium. Darren Waller or Michael Pittman.
Oh, Waller. Because I mean,
yeah, that's what
the problem with Pittman is so far he's shown no ceiling with Phillip Rivers. Like he's the one that seems to have suffered the most. So it's just super hard to trust Pittman at this point. Although you're asking me to play the guy that's associated with Quinn Ewers, so that sucks. Anyway, doesn't suck to be here. Thanks for having me on again, guys. Good to see you.
Absolutely.
Love to have you, Kyle.
Yes.
So am I being too harsh on Pittman?
I don't think so. Oh.
I don't think it's Pittman's fault.
Yeah. I mean, because he was doing so well with Daniel Jones, it's just luck of injuries.
Yeah. Luck of injuries and him liking Josh Downs more, which is what everybody thought would happen at the beginning of the fantasy season anyway.
I think that's kind of funny because Pittman was the one. Yeah, it's true, right? I mean, not me. I was drafting Pittman over Downs. But of all these receivers, the one that Rivers played with in Indy in his 1 year in with the Colts was Michael Pittman's rookie season. So that was the one guy he might have had like a potential connection with, even though Pittman wasn't as used as often. Maybe, and you know what? The fact that he didn't have a good year with Rivers, maybe that was the opposite. We should have looked at that as, oh, look, evidence. His worst season came when Phillip Rivers was his quarterback. So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Any questions you guys wanted me to discuss from earlier in the show? Or any of your
we did have a disagreement earlier, didn't we?
Yeah. Our very first question.
Two. So I'm thinking Tedero McMillan for sure. I know they talked about him having an illness, but I wouldn't be so concerned. I know it's a tough Seahawks defense, but I think I've got Michael Wilson still ranked the highest in spite of Marvin Harrison Jr. being there. Because Harrison isn't 100%. Like he's questionable coming into today. I believe he's active, right?
Yeah.
But not going to be 100%. He didn't see much usage last week, so I would go McMillan and Wilson. What did you guys select?
I think I went Wandale and Wilson.
And I went Waddle and Tedero.
Yeah, Wandale and Waddle is crazy.
Yes.
Okay, so we all had McMillan. So like we can minimize this to like a start one of these four type thing, right? We all agreed Tedero McMillan should be in the line. So at least we gave clarity there, right? So at least
I would go Wandale and Wilson over Ted.
Oh, sorry, I misheard. Okay, never mind.
And I think I would go Waddle over Ted also.
Are you just worried about the illness or just the Seahawks defense? Both?
Seahawks and the illness, and yeah.
I guess at Topher, you're probably thinking like I am. He's going to get volume. He's the top receiver on his team. He's kind of locked in for that, I suppose.
Yeah,
Waddle and
I was.
I could see Coker outscoring Tat this week.
No.
Okay.
I mean, Zacchaeus could outscore Burden. Malik Washington could outscore Jalen Waddle. Darius Slayton could outscore Wandale Robinson. Like, those are all possibilities.
Yes.
Okay, so can we agree at least on who we wouldn't start? Like, I don't think any of us said to start Luther Burden, right?
He was my third.
Bottom.
He was my third choice, but yeah.
Okay, so at least that. So now you've kind of these four guys. Like, okay, start two out of these four. So good luck there, Jared. I'm sorry I was no.
See, yep, and that's how we were. Okay, J Label.
I think I've got all five of those guys. I think are in my top 30 at wide receiver. So.
Yeah,
I understand. Like, none of those scream to me like, "Oh my god, for sure, don't play that guy." Those are all viable receivers we think can score points and have relatively good ceilings between them.
Absolutely. Who'd you all pick to go to the Super Bowl from the AFC?
I think it's going to be the Bills. This is their only shot with the Chiefs out of it.
It does feel like the Bills are the team that like they've had success before, even if it's not been getting to the Super Bowl, but they've had playoff wins with a lot of this core. Is the run defense good enough? Maybe Josh Allen overcomes all that anyway. I do think I'm leaning Bills as well. There really is no obvious bad team. Maybe whoever wins the North. Because I guess in theory the Ravens could still be in the playoffs. The Packers did not take care of business. I mean, they're in the playoffs, so really all I needed was my fantasy players in the Packers. I was more cheering for that. So Malik Willis made me very happy yesterday. I don't care that they didn't win.
Josh Jacobs did not. Ugh.
Luckily, the team I had Josh Jacobs on lost by 0.7 points the week before. But much more disappointing than potentially having him cost me third place to fourth place.
That's fair.
The fumble, right? Like his fumble last week screwed me because like that. If he doesn't fumble, I get those extra 2 points and I win. And I'm playing now, and he could disappoint me this week. So
that's very fair.
Now, I think a better question would be who's going to make it into the NFC.
I mean, whatever logo is next to Topher, I think. Right?
Yeah, third straight year being the 7 seed. Go Pack, go!
They're the only team to win a 7 seed playoff game so far.
That's true.
So maybe they'll just be the first 7 seed to make it to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl.
Maybe.
Yeah, I say it's going to be Eagles. I got to go with the Eagles. Maybe the Rams.
Oh no Eagles. I think it's Rams or Seahawks. I think on it Rams, Seahawks, or what is it?
It feels like it's going to be another all NFC West NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
we've definitely seen that in the past, like either Rams 49ers or Rams Seahawks or Seahawks 49ers. That feels like that's probably what the NFC Championship is going to be. Because unlike last year, when the NFC North sends 3 teams to the playoffs, they all lose and no one gets a single playoff win. Typically, when the NFC West sends 3 teams to the playoffs, like those are like the serious contenders. Like it's for all effectiveness, the NFC West has basically been the best. Like every year, the best division in football changes. But if you look at the course of the last 10 years, the NFC West is probably the team that has been most consistently the best division over multiple seasons. And when they have been the best, those teams usually go pretty far. So wouldn't shock me if it's an all NFC West NFC Championship.
I agree with you. That's where I'm at.
I mean, you got the pedigree. Like the 49ers and Purdy have been to the Super Bowl. The Rams and Stafford have won the Super Bowl. So that NFC Championship game again, that seems the likeliest to me, because Sam Darnold has 0 playoff wins. So like that's the between those 3 teams. Now did he need that one bad playoff game last year to that was his first one. Now he's been over that. Now he knows how to play in the playoffs. Like, will that help him? I don't know, but yeah. Rams Bills or 49ers Bills. That's probably what I would go with right now.
I think we're going to a another Rams Patriots Super Bowl.
Hopefully more entertaining than last one, where the punters aren't the best players.
Yes.
And that Johnny Hecker punt though, that 65-yard punt that like bounced and rolled, man, record-setting punt in the Super Bowl. That's my memory of that game. That was the best highlight.
That's true. That was good stuff. Let's see. Small talk sports. Sorry, not small
Raul.
town. What's up, guys? Good luck in your finals today. Start one. DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers, Rico Dowdle.
On the Fantasy Six Pack stream this morning, Keith was really touting how like the Colts are they've allowed the most fantasy points to wide receivers specifically. Lawrence could have an amazing day, especially throwing to his outside guys. So I like Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Myers top 15 this week, so I can get down with that.
I don't think I quite have him in the top 15, but wide receiver 19 for me. But still, I think
yeah.
Guys in the top 20 like that, you're best served to start them.
Yeah, I'm going Jacoby Myers here. I mean, DJ Moore could do DJ Moore things because Rome Odunze's out.
Well, my goal line guide article this week, the Bears do have the highest passing goal line grade. So I feel like either way, you don't want to play Dowdle. I just don't think against the Seahawks he has a high enough ceiling. Even though, again, half PPR, you'd think default the running backs over the receivers, but I really do think the upside lies with those two wide receivers. So definitely don't play Dowdle, Raul. I don't think.
Yeah, that's my. Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm definitely with you. So, yeah, I think Myers, Moore, Dowdle is my order in those three.
You guys got any difficult decisions? I'm sure Jamie's in a ton of finals, probably like 18 different finals.
Yeah, no, I think I got mine all set pretty well.
Legitimately, how many finals are you in today?
I'll count them. Hold on.
I'll count them. Okay, enough that you don't know offhand. That's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And
Raul, looking forward to talking with you again.
Yeah,
that's Raul Natarajan.
Happy New Year.
Co-host on the Dynasty Six Pack.
I'm actually only in 9 finals, so
oh my God,
disappointing year. However, the Battle of the Sexes tournament, I am top 12. This is the last.
So you're in the final week. Good job.
I'm in the final week. Yep. So
there you go.
On all these men and women of the fantasy industry.
Out of my 3 RSO leagues, I made 2 finals in RSO. 3 finals total out of 14 leagues. So it's no easy pie. We'll say 3.14. Yeah. No. So Malik Willis really helped. Maybe Malik Willis might have just won me a championship. We'll see. Still got a lot of ways to go.
But that'd be legit.
Now I have one decision that's like it's kind of been hurting my brain all week in a super flex league. Basically, earlier in the week I had both spots to choose, but I started Dak Prescott, which right now looks like a good decision. I think he ended up scoring 22.9, almost 23 points. Tough to bank on any of these 3 guys. Like all 3 of these guys I'm going to name have potential to do better, but if you're just giving me like lock in those 22 points, I think I'd take that. Okay, he was playing against Washington, so I'm pretty happy how that turned out. The other super flex spot, Brock Purdy against the Bears, Jalen Hurts against the Bills, or Jacoby Brissett against the Bengals.
Oh, I'm going to go Hurts all day.
Hurts, who were they again?
The Bills.
Hurts,
Purdy, and Brissett.
Purdy was the second one.
All top 10 options, but I got Hurts at number 2 this week, right behind Burrow, right in front of Dak. So
I didn't get the Burrow hype at being 1. I have Burrow down at QB 10, but I know he was really high in ECR. I just didn't quite get it. I prefer Hurts. I prefer Drake May, like these rushing guys, and then I think there's better passing upside, say with Stafford and Lawrence.
Well, for me, I mean, I got Chase and Higgins in my top 10, so I just felt I needed to put Burrow pretty high.
I mean, I have Puka at wide receiver 1, so that's why I have Stafford at QB 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
Stafford at 1. Wow.
And I don't have Higgins in the top 10, so I guess that makes it easier.
Those are, I think you can't go wrong with pretty much any of those. I almost lean Brock Purdy right there. Brock Purdy's been lighting it up lately.
All right, so to people with I don't know, have I shared the start-sit spreadsheet yet this year with you guys?
I think so,
Sure,
yeah.
I've done that in the past, but here we go again. So basically, this is what I use to kind of make my difficult decisions, and apparently this week was quarterbacks. There's only 3 finals. There was a lot. There's like scrounging for that last starter anyway, so there's not many decisions to make. But basically, I look at a few different categories. The first 4 are player production through the year. The first 2 is what's their best performance from the year, what's their worst performance from the season. Kind of give a range of like where they actually scored, who's got true ceiling and who doesn't. To a safe floor, which this week maybe doesn't matter as much. You're in the championship. You go for the swing the fences, right? I'm a baseball guy. I think that, or not a baseball guy. I think that's how that goes. Medium average points per game throughout the season, their projected production from this week, and then the team stats more, the defense they're facing. What's the matchup? Where's that defense rank in points per game allowed? In this case, to quarterbacks. The implied total and the over-under from the game set by the odds makers, and then my goal line grade and the goal line grade differential. Those are all the things I kind of plug in, and green represents the highest in each category, orange the lowest, and just kind of see and I compare. In this one, I'll do things like, who had the most, because I'm picking 2 players, who had the most top 2 finishes in these categories, and it was actually Dak and Brissett. And then just compare, highest to lowest, and Brissett does come out favorably. So that was one of the reasons why I started Dak. It just seemed like, play him Thursday, and then we'll figure out that other spot later.
Yeah.
Right now, the spreadsheet's kind of leaning towards Brissett in that matchup against the Bengals. They've allowed the 3rd most points to quarterback. And this was brought up too this morning. The Bengals have allowed the most points to tight ends. And that's the one area where Brissett will especially target. Like, this matchup's almost set up for Brissett to do really well. The only problem, though, he doesn't have the ceiling of the other guys. His floor is incredible, but he doesn't yet have a 25-point week, whereas the other 3 have eclipsed 30. And I think, Jamie, that was maybe why you were thinking Hurts. Like, you're just thinking the upside ceiling, the rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, 100%.
The matchup does scare me. I know that they're of these teams, they have the lowest implied total. I know the weather is looking good, and all the other defenses are like, they allow a lot of points. The Bills allow the 5th fewest points to quarterback, so it's by far the toughest matchup of the 4. So Hurts from this spreadsheet actually is not looked at favorably. He's looked at the worst option. So it's just interesting that, because I typically I'm not even putting Hurts in the spreadsheet, Jamie. Like, he's just automatically in my lineup starting every week, but this week I'm leaving no stone unturned. I'm analyzing everything, and just, man, the way I analyze, Hurts looked very poorly, and I guess the weather today really isn't helping either. Good old Great Lakes weather. Uh-oh. Good thing I'm not driving anymore now it's the all the visiting family is done. Like, now I'm back home and I can just stay inside and not worry about all.
Dang.
So yeah, I said I'm leaning Brissett. Topher likes Purdy, and Jamie likes Hurts. So there's there we go. And that's why it's so complex, and that's why we're here to help you folks. We can't help ourselves. Anyway, so yeah, then that's my process. I don't know, like, do you think there's also things I'm missing? Like, should I be looking at other aspects that I'm not taking into account in the spreadsheet? Were there things in that spreadsheet that you just don't think matter as much as well?
No, I like it. I think you got it down pat.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's very well thought out. Absolutely. Good work.
Yeah, thanks. Well, hopefully I make the right call. And I mean, maybe they all score over 20 points and it doesn't really matter. And I either win or lose anyway. I know Jamie saw that I made a trade in that league this week in the championship. After trading Judkins from Topher, I just traded him away because he got hurt again. So just bounce from injured player and keep going, right? So I don't know if you guys end up seeing that trade happen, if you thought it was kind of an overpay in championship weeks, which typically, I will say, leagues without trade deadlines, if you want to make a trade in the championship week, you typically have to overpay. Because no one gives you the free title for free, I've noticed. Like, you're playing for the title, you will pay more. I know you want. If you're desperate enough to try and make this trade, you will pay more. And sure enough, I was.
Yeah.
So the trade, for reference sake, it's a 12-team PPR league, start 10. I gave up Judkins in a second to get, and the second I got from Topher, which I believe would be the 205.
Probably.
Chase Brown. That's what I got. So Judkins in a second for Chase Brown. Let's go win the title.
Yeah, I don't mind it because you're trying to win, but value-wise, I rather have Judkins straight up.
For sure, me too. But again, I've noticed that too. Like every time I've made a trade in a championship game, it was a few years ago. It was Cousins had COVID, and I had to add him and a second to get Tannehill. Whereas like if you look at typical like startup value, as soon as that season was ended, Cousins would be ahead of Tannehill. So I've noticed that like if you want to make a trade in championship week, you're going to have to defy dynasty value. So it is what it is. It's locked in. Chase Brown's starting, so see what happens.
Boom.
And of course, if I don't win the championship, then it looks horrible, right? If I at least win and I can say, "Oh, I won," even if I gave up the rookie running back. I'm also just a little concerned, and part of the reason I traded Scadaboo to Topher was, okay, it's not even just a this year thing. Maybe next year Scadaboo won't be as good because of the injury. And now I'm thinking maybe the same thing with Judkins. Maybe next year Chase Brown still outscores both anyway. So maybe this like is a like win now, win next year, but certainly 3-4 years down the line, I'm going to think, man, I would have rather have kept Scadaboo, kept Judkins. So that definitely factored in, I think.
I'm okay with keeping Scadaboo.
And that's fair. I mean, now that like Judkins is hurt, like to you, there's probably no difference, and you just got an extra first out of it. Whether it
did
111 or 112, you still moved up about a half round.
But still,
so
yeah, exactly.
To kind of play with, and I don't even have that second anymore. So
nope. But if you get the belt, it'll be worth it.
No, for sure.
Exactly. Okay. We got just a few minutes left. See a couple of you still in here. Make sure you ask us your last minute fantasy questions. Something to bring up is that the Bears have added DJ Moore and Olamide Zaccheaus to their injury report due to illness.
Christmas illness. Apparently it's going around because like so many teams have done that. Like we talked about earlier with Tedero McMillan, that happened.
Yep. And I mean, this flu season this year is nasty. I'm on the healing end of it, but whew, I was down and out for multiple days. And that just typically if I'm sick, it's a day, maybe two. It was about 4 or 5 days of me just not having energy to do crap.
Stay hydrated, folks. That's the key.
Yes. I handled like COVID wasn't as bad for me as this flu was. Like COVID, I was like, okay, I'll stay away. I'll be fine. But whew. Yeah, this one's no fun at all. Let's see. Boom.
Yeah, we are 12:30 now.
Yeah, it is that time. Okay. Gentlemen, thank you for a great year. I've had a lot of fun with y'all, answering questions with you and audience. Thank you so much for being with us every week this week. It's fun. This is a great way to start off my football Sunday.
Well, I want to say I know that I'm splitting time between Fantasy Six Pack and here, so thanks for allowing me to split my time and allow me to join you guys at the end of the shows here.
Oh, absolutely. Of course.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys always coming on and people in the chat asking their questions, keeping us going, because without you, we wouldn't have a show.
It's very true. Absolutely true.
I know I'm looking forward to starting all again in week 1 with you guys again next year. So
yes,
definitely
absolutely
a great off season of a lot of Dynasty content. Certainly Jamie and I will return it with Dynasty 6-Pack on the Fantasy 6-Pack Network sometime in January. So for that.
There you go. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for listening. Good luck in your championships. And Jamie, sign us off for the last time this season.
Make sure you win your championships because no one likes a loser.